Mm-hmm.
And there it is.
There it is. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing. In this episode this morning, we're going to cover, I don't know, man, all kinds of stuff. I was writing notes at 4 o'clock this morning, so I don't even know what's in there anymore, but it's going to be Drag and Drive related. So get ready. The season's winding down. The last national event is happening right now. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to give you some. Stat and event updates, I guess, is probably the best way to put this show this morning. And we have some fun stuff that's happening at Southeast Street and Yeet. So we'll talk about that. Mr. Eric, if you'll hit that intro, let's do it, man.
All right, let's go.
Well, good morning, guys. Again, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing. My name is Mike Narks. I am the host of the news that you're watching here, which is an hour-long, hard-hitting news. Just man, news from the Drag and Drive community is probably the easiest way to put it. And my right-hand man, my co-host, Mr. Eric White, tell him what you got going on, man.
I am Eric White, co-host of both the show and the news, and like Mike says, right-hand man, which means I'm doing anything that needs to be done for here at Drag Drive Repeat, also for the Circuit Drag and Drive coming up here very soon, and just got back to posting some Hot Rod Drag Week photos, so we're coming up on finishing day 3, and we'll be starting on day 4 hopefully soon, and looking forward to getting those wrapped up, man. That's been a lot more than I anticipated, taking 10,250 photos in a week.
Dude, it's tough. It's been great watching you roll that out, though. I think there was a lot of stuff you learned during that time too, like as far as like camera stuff, but then also like what is a good shot? Can you cut some of those down? Things like that. Like you think about it, the other events you've done 3,000, something like that. This one's 10.
Yeah.
You just went wild, and now it's like, okay, now you can learn that. And man, there has been some amazing shots now. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, jump over to the Facebook page, Drag Driver Pete, and just go to albums. Eric has done a great job of separating them by day instead of just loading everything with no albums, like some other people do, some other media companies. And man, bro, that's tough when you're going back looking for the shot that is from day 2 or something like that. It's hard to find that, but you've made it very easy for them to find that, and I appreciate that a lot.
Oh yeah, for
All right.
sure.
Well, I'll tell you the circuit photo. Well, we'll talk about the circuit here in just a second. Let's get into this thing, man. We'll run down through this. Guys, just want to say thank you so much. Do us a favor, hit the share button as you come in here this morning. Let folks know that you're watching. This is like become the Power Nation of Drag and Drive. Folks get their news right here before the kickoff of the Southeast Street and Yeet live stream. So thank you for being our race car friends, guys. You really make this possible. I was literally up at 4 o'clock this morning writing notes and stuff for the show today, and to to see people commenting and liking and all that kind of stuff, I woke up to like 80 something notifications. So it's pretty cool. So I want to say thank you to everybody for being out there, for being our race car friends. And thank you to our sponsors, man. They make this all possible. Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. If you guys are spending money in the automotive aftermarket, please look at these guys, see if there's something that they offer that you can use. Well, Summit being our title sponsor of the news and the show and the Drag and Drive Awards. So Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They fuel your passion, they save you money, they deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And you can also find them on the On All Cylinders podcast and website for more automotive discussions like what you're listening to right here. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. You can find everything at summitracing.com. Yep. Well, we obviously talked about SEMA's a big announcement this week. Yeah, we can go back to that one there. Those are supposed to be flipped, but you can, guys, listen, want to say thank you to everybody that's been purchasing merch. We really appreciate that. We have an agreement with them that they send us just a little bit of everybody's purchase, and again, it helps. Every little bit helps, and even though it is just a little bit, it is a little bit of help. So thank you very much. If you're looking for some official Drag Driver Pete merch, this is the only place to buy it right now. Is Summit Racing.
Yep.
Super cool. We're working on some designs and stuff that'll be on our own website. That'll be kind of one-offs and things like that. We're going to have some fun with it. But if you want something that is like Eric's shirt down, Eric's hoodie, or the shirt I'm wearing under my Molly hoodie, right there, summitracing.com for your Drag Driver Pete and Summit merch. All right. This El Camino, I'm in love, dude.
Yeah,
this
that's pretty
awesome. Yeah, this was posted on the Summit Facebook page from their pictures from SEMA. And dude, I don't know. Is it the Survivor paint I like? Is it the blower out of the hood? Is it the bed full of tires? I don't know, but I dig it all, man. It's all super cool.
Yeah.
Looks like it sits low, good color combos, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, super cool. How many tires are back there?
I don't know. All
2, 4, 6. It looks like 6, maybe 5, 6.
Yeah, at least, and it looks like a good mix of it. You know, you got like a small tire and probably a big tire or big-ish tire, and then some kind of
hard tire,
maybe kind of radial-ish, something like that. So, super cool shot. And again, you know, Summit offers all that stuff. So those guys were running around. Justin Wiedemann was talking to a ton of folks all weekend. So if you jump on social this weekend, search up Summit Racing, see Justin talking to all kinds of different people that were there. And then they had a bunch of autograph signings at the booth, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then they were at SEMA. They've been to SEMA for a long time. They are at PRI again. This is like their third year to be at PRI, which is really cool. They're going to be in booth 4401 in the Yellow Hall, which is right down the road from us, like literally four rows down from where we are. So booth 4401, you'll be able to find them. They're right on the end cap, right at a doorway. I mean, they really have primo placement, and it's a end cap booth there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just right there. And then the little green square there on the right's us. Like that's how close we are to Summit, y'all. This is a big move for us to be that close to the front of the Yellow Hall, but then also to be that close to, you know, big. I mean, Hearts Turbo is there. You've got Mav TV is there. They're going to be drawing a bunch of people. They're doing a bunch of interviews. You got VP Racing right down the way, and then Summit Racing, of course, right there at the doorway. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that location, I don't think.
Yeah, for our second year of having a booth, I think that's a pretty good upgrade. I know last year we filled up our booth, but it was a little bit hard for people to find us. Imagine how full our booth is going to be this year when we're easier to find and we're right off that main aisle, and we're, you know, there's likely going to be a line of people waiting to get food that are going to be standing right by our booth.
Yeah,
so
and you know,
there's going to be a lot of eyes on Drag Driver Pete this year.
Yeah, and with us as heckly as we are, and the people that are going to be in the booth working with us, man, it's going to be a great time. Should be a good growth opportunity for the entire drag and drive sport.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, speaking of that stuff, let's talk about the circuit first, and then we're going to get into some drag and drive awards and things like that. The racer artwork should start posting later today. I apologize for not being out already. Eric has had the flyer done for several days now, and I just have not gotten any of the pictures that everybody's been emailing me. So I've loaded those to a Google Drive folder this morning. He's going to work through those, and then once we have a few more, or really once I get some time this week, I'm going to work through and add photos from last year. So some of the photos you see for racers coming up, maybe from last year's event and all that kind of stuff. So should see some of those. With 200 cars, I would imagine we will definitely have at least one daily post. Maybe more, or maybe we will bunch up a few photos from a single class or something like that. So I did want to ask if anybody has any reels or vertical style videos that they shot at the circuit 2024. Man, share those with us, please. We need some of that content. Eric was taking a bunch of photos and doing right hand man stuff. I was so busy. I literally took 2 reels the entire weekend. So that was kind of tough, but that's really what helps put butts in seats.
Hmm.
So we'll be dropping some stuff as we go throughout the year or go throughout the next few months to really kind of draw more fans into the seats because that's what we want. Obviously, we want to highlight our racers, so that's why we're doing the racer flyers. So when you see your name tagged from the circuit, please share that out. Make sure that everybody knows you're racing there, and then also that's just super cool artwork that Eric does. So, all
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting close. We're literally 5 months, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 months. Pretty crazy. All right, Drag Drive Repeat Awards presented by Summit Racing, or Drag and Drive Awards, sorry, presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, Thursday, 11 a.m. at PRI in room 241. If you are going to be close to Indianapolis during this time, make a point to come up. If you're not a member of PRI, it's like $40 to sign up for a year and you get free entry into the event. So it's kind of one of those. Plus, you get a bunch of other stuff that I don't ever use. But the PRI show is really one of the coolest things, especially for race car drivers and fans, because there's a lot of really neat cars that are in there. A lot of stuff you won't see anywhere else for another 6 months or a year. You'll see right there at PRI. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and a lot of chance to interact with businesses that we work with all the time. So you'll get
Yep.
to see all kinds of businesses and probably new businesses that you hadn't even heard of.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
And then we released the top 3 quarter-mile national event racers on Wednesday night on episode 87. So the awards for those are going to go to Brett LaSala, Bryant Goldstone, and Stefan Gustafsson. So they are going to receive trophies for being the baddest of the bad in the quarter-mile national event series.
Yep. And so obviously we're giving out, I think it's like 24 trophies or something like that. I can't remember. I have to look back at the list. And as we lead into that, obviously as we lead into PRI, we're going to be releasing some of the ones that are out there. And again, I should have the 8th mile list up and ready by Wednesday night for episode 88 because Southeast Street Meet being a national level event, they'll have people that'll be on that because we've seen somebody run a 460 is what Derek Putnam sent me earlier. So pretty awesome that they're going down that fast.
Yep.
Well, if you're going to be at PRI again, come by, see us, booth 4904. Please screenshot this and share that out. We want to have as many folks come by the booth as possible. We have the 100 daily decals that we're going to be giving out. You will have to ask for these. That's not something that we're going to put on the table. And then we're working with Summit on a bumper sticker that we could give out to everybody, and maybe print 500 or 1,000 of those that will be on the table. So if you don't get one of the circles, make sure you grab one of the bumper sticker like deals.
Yep. Those are going to be pretty cool as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll have WAF Racing will be there with some products, which will be kind of cool. And then we're gonna have the camera and the live stream ready for when you guys come up. So we'll be working through the next few weeks to see who's going to be at PRI, and then kind of start setting up timelines of like who's going to be where and when we can do some interview type stuff with people. But listen, if you're cool with jumping on camera, we'll literally press 3 buttons and fire that dude up right there. So
Right.
yeah, so get ready. We're gonna be having a great time. Last year was amazing. This next year should be even more fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming as we get closer, we'll start posting kind of where we're going to be as well. Because I
Yeah,
know we're going to be doing stuff at other booths as well. So we'll start
yeah,
putting that information out here probably pretty soon.
yep. So I've got a time. Luke and I are working out a time for the Howard's Cam live stream where we go to their booth, and then we'll have we've got Racing Junk on Friday morning, I think at 10. We've got PowerTube TV on Saturday morning. I don't know the timeline there. That may be like 2 hours worth of stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll have full on timelines that are out there. So if you are going to be at PRI and you would like to tell your story, dude, let us know. We'll set up a time.
Yeah. And even if we're not at the booth, there will be somebody at our booth. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll
Perfect.
make little make little placards that say where we're at that day. Put them on the booth.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. That way, if somebody comes up, they could come see us at the other booth.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. PRI coming up soon.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll hit the Driven, and then we'll jump into some Southeast Street Neat.
Gotcha.
So, Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly say that 3 times fast, for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol or ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And again, you can find Driven Racing Oil at drivenracingoil.com or on any social that you like by searching for Driven Racing Oil. Love Bill and the team over there. They've been amazing to us, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with StreamYard this morning. Everybody's a Facebook user today. We've been having some weird issues here with our StreamYard lately, so apologize that your names are not popping up this morning.
Yeah, wow, that's weird. Yeah, they a few months ago, not that this matters, but a few months ago they sold to a different company, and man, since then it's kind of been that company's been trying to upgrade stuff, I think, as it goes along. And anytime you start doing that, you kind of run into struggles like that. Well, let's talk about some Southeast Street Neat stuff and
going on right now.
Yeah, the hardest part about this event is that for me, like the data guy, is we don't know who's there except from pictures and people posting. There's no daily list that goes out, which I really kind of like, to be honest. It's really interesting to, from a racer standpoint, not know what other people are running. So like, if you're up, you would have to literally sit up there and watch and then know what pass that your competitor turns in to see where you're at in the standings.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty cool. I really like the idea. I think it makes a lot of sense.
We got Rich actually here tuning in, who's actually at the event as well.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. So I like the fact that there's no times. People don't know what they're running and all that kind of stuff. So we won't know until tomorrow, which is Sunday for folks that are watching this later. And we're going to recap all of the stuff on episode 88 of the Drag Driver Pete show. But I did want to run through Alex Corella is there. Michael Ward is there. We saw some photos, again, showing photos here on the screen for the folks on the podcast. Randy Seward is there. I think this will be his 4th national event this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know he's done Sick Week and Drag Week. We saw him. I think he's done something else. So it's pretty awesome.
Going for that 850 point series, huh?
Yeah. I can't wait. I should be able to finish that up by Wednesday night as well. So maybe we'll release that. I don't know yet. And then Brandon Culleton in the Tinker truck here with the 4-wheel drive. Used to be a dirt drags or pulling truck, and now has been built into a drag and drive truck. So super cool there. And then Anthony Harville is there, and then I can't remember this guy's name to save my life, but man, new wheels on the back looks perfection, dude. Perfection. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this car, and I think it's one of the quickest GT 500 street cars or something like that in the nation. It's rowdy, super rowdy car. Wow. Twins and stuff. But this story I came across this morning between my nap and coming out here. Ricky Marositz,
Jason Texiera. Is that how you pronounce it? That's who that is.
Yes. Yep. Awesome. Ricky and his son are there, 7 years old, running around with his iPad, taking pictures and talking to a bunch of people. His dad said he loves cars, and so he got to skip school to do some drag and drive racing and fun. Dude, this looks like a blast.
Yeah, how cool is that?
I got to take my kid on one of these things, man, because that's really fun. And to be, like as a car kid, that would have been one of the coolest experiences ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And you can see these guys' iPad, so he's taking pictures. So I mean, like here's where teachers I feel like can have some really good opportunity to create more hot rod kids in school. Is then when that kid goes back to school, let him bring that iPad and show it on the screen up front. Show some pictures, do all that kind of fun stuff, and let him tell about his adventure and all that. So
Yeah, that's a future of drag and drive media right there.
I'm telling you, yeah. So it's good to see parents leaning into that and letting kids do that stuff. Well, Derek Putnam sent this morning. I asked in the Southeast Street Neat Facebook group whether anybody had ran fours, what people were breaking, some stories and stuff like that. Looks like Nick Reinhardt is one of the only guys in the fours, but dude, he's run a 466.
Man,
Insane, insane. That's one of the quickest times. I want to say one of the quickest times of Southeast Street Neat ever. So that's pretty amazing. So big shout out to Nick on that. And again, we'll know all that stuff on Sunday. We'll see what is going on out there.
yep.
Sorry, that's not Nick's car, but
Yeah, I was assuming
that's
that.
a really cool shot. I
Yeah,
really liked this one too.
yeah, that thing's awesome. I always had a thing for like the old rat rod pickup trucks.
Yep.
Actually had one that I never got to finish. Kind
Oh
of
man.
disappoints me that I never got to finish that. That was a 46 Dodge, and man, that could have been a cool car or truck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Mm.
that would have been a good one.
Yeah,
I like the Dodge cabs. I'm a fan of those cabs.
yeah.
And Jared Klausner posted that tacos were really good at the parking lot party. Hurricanes destroyed roads. Hurricane destroying roads are really bad. And Sharon likes making sandwiches at the starting line. I guess we're talking about reaction times.
Nice.
Nice. Duck Hunter TV says going to try and get to Mooresville today, or at least Shadyside tomorrow. Yeah, this is you definitely got to do that. Those guys are awesome. But this is one of the road pictures I grabbed this morning from one of the posts. That crazy,
Oh
man.
man, dude, that's horrible.
Yep. Can you
Man,
imagine pulling down there in your little drag and drive race car and trailer, and then that is what you run into? You're like,
yeah, yeah. And
it go.
if you got a trailer, like, how you get that thing turned around in there?
Mm, that's the biggest thing, right? So
Yeah,
again, keep those people in North Carolina in your
yeah,
thoughts, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's damage down there. Obviously, I mean, Google Maps had them routed down this way, and obviously they couldn't drive that.
yeah, yeah. That's
So,
sad to see for sure.
yep, yep, pretty wild. And then I'll let you talk about Brad's turbo here.
Yeah, he posted that he destroyed a turbo, and you can see in these photos here, that turbo there on the left side is not looking too good.
No, no, not at all.
So I don't know exactly what happened to the turbo here, but it's not the way it should be anymore.
Yeah, those fins are not going to give any good air.
No, no, not at all, not at all. And then a couple other notes that we got here. Scott Thompson lost park in his transmission, bent 10 wheel studs, smoked a blow off valve, steam spilt on the fuel cell, or the seam split on his fuel cell. They are still rolling, more opportunities for success. So sounds like they're having a rough time as well.
Yeah,
And then CJ Roberts looking like some tight racing in the stick shift group. Rob Warwick and Kyle Buntley are, from what I can tell, about a tenth away from each other for first place. Both cars having a ton of potential to lay down 5-4 or better passes at any point.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that
So,
would be. I wish I had been paying more attention yesterday to the live stream. I just didn't get a chance to see most of it. I was really, really busy.
yeah.
Uh, Duck Hunter
So,
TV says 16 inches of rain in 2 days in that area. Man,
man, yeah,
that's
that's
a
rough.
bunch.
Yep.
CJ Cave said he had ran a 512 at 148 and put lifters in on day one.
Man, definitely sound like some struggling going on at Southeast Street and Eat this week.
Yeah, yeah. The final day of live streaming today, or sorry, tomorrow. going to be on Spooled Media, both YouTube and Facebook. I'm pretty sure both of those. And again, that's this week. Spooled Media. You can watch all the stuff from yesterday and Thursday, and then of course today and tomorrow going to be live stream. So that's what I'm going to do while I'm driving to Tulsa and back is watch the live stream for Southeast Street Meet.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move to Central Georgia. Back to the not back to the streets. Battle of the Streets.
Yeah, yeah. Central Georgia Battle of the Streets. So, winner of the Battle of the Streets Dragon Drive. So, Dave Wiggins in the hot rod class. We've got David Waxman in the Outlaw Daily Driver class. Trey Knowles in the truck class.
That's probably him there. Sorry. So these aren't in order. They weren't labeled or anything. They were just in there. So I'm going to flip through the photos as you go through the names.
All right. Bill Jones and Renegade. We've got Chris Nancy Lancaster in the factory stock. And one name that we know for sure, Stephen Willingham in the 3-pedal.
Yep. Winning with two N's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winningham and Willingham and both named Steve. Dude.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I got that mixed up, huh?
Yes. So Steve Winningham knocked it out of the park here. Again, that's pretty cool to see. A lot of big name guys racing in this weekend, this single day event. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the belts look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Got a Facebook user here saying, me, Jason, Scott, and Dane are here at Famosa getting ready to run at 9.
Oh, nice. That's probably, I guess that's probably Reggie Moore. So that's awesome. I just shared his live stream that he was on a few minutes ago. If you guys haven't been following Reggie, he's driven from Arkansas to now he went to SEMA and now he's in Famosa in the Oregon Grinder rat rod. Yeah. Or hot rod. It's not a rat rod. It's a hot rod. Y'all, super cool story. And now he's got to drive that thing home. Jason Schaefer's with him. Dane Thompson of Burn Down is out there with him. And then Scott Guthrie drove his dad's Corvette from Florida. Sorry, Scott and Jason drove from Florida, met Reggie in Arkansas, and then they cruised out together. How cool is that, man? They've been camping.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time for sure.
Yeah.
And
I'm
again,
a big fan of those guys.
It looks like it's only Facebook that's not showing the users this morning. So it looks like YouTube's doing all right, but.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
No doubt.
All right. Well, Central Victorian Dragon Drive is done. Pretty crazy. That look at all the trophies they've got here. So congratulations to Dave and the team out there. I mean, I can't imagine 2 events a year has got to be tough, especially when you have, big events like what they put on. So Central Victorian Dragon Drive, we'll have the full breakdown of class winners and everything on episode 88 of the Drag Driver Pete show. But they didn't have that up. They literally posted like 4 hours ago that it was done. So they're ahead of us by a few hours. So I'm sure they're getting all that stuff or they're taking a break.
Yeah. Having a blast driving a bunch of slow cars.
Man, again, 55, 60 miles an hour across the country would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think driving your car, whether it's fast or slow, is fun no matter what. So
yeah, and especially that group because it's such a cool group, like with the Oregon Grinder and then Jason Schaefer's chicken coop and then the Corvette pulling the Corvette trailer. Man, it'd be pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
Right. So here's some shots of Central Victorian. So we've got the foot race here. I need to know more about this. I need to know what is going on here, and it looks awesome. Maybe we need to get in on some of this foot race action.
I don't know. That could be another charity earning event at the circuit.
Yep. Yeah, I need to start stretching now. So congratulations to all those winners and all the people that participated and finished and all the cool stuff for Central Victorian Dragon Drive.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, sorry. One last shot here of the of one of the route stops.
Man, how cool is that?
When there's a lot of people at one route stop and you end up with a big photo like that, or you end up with, because that's how you end up getting into some serious shenanigans.
Oh, absolutely.
peer pressure is for serious.
Yep.
That's cool. All right. Driven Racing Oil, I want to say thanks again to them for being our event update sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I'll hit this car chains one.
Okay.
Car Change 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift they can't find anywhere else. Corey can produce one off keychains for that special person's special car. Find more at carchains3d.com or on social media by searching Carchains 3D on Facebook or Instagram.
Yep. And products this week I thought were super cool are these end caps for like square body S10s.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that looks so nice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who is building this truck, but that is a super nice truck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at those photos, that interior looks clean.
Yeah,
Like,
super clean.
I'm even looking at like the door hinges and the body
Yeah.
there. Like everything looks clean. I'm interested to see whose this is.
Right? And then I love the center panel cover there for all the AC controls and stuff. I mean, this has to be a race truck to take all that stuff out. But dude, that thing is crisp. Like, look
Yeah.
at everything looks new. So thought that was really neat. And then the dash on the right side for folks that are watching this, that is same square body S10. It's not the same truck, but a square body S10. And so it's a 7-inch Tinker dash. Again, we talk
Hmm.
about Corey all the time. He has dashes, custom dashes for like every different kind of ECU that's out there, Fuel Tech, Holly, Tinker, like with this, Aces fuel injection, all that kind of stuff. And if you don't want to mount it in the dash, he has all kind of mounts that go on the side. Like I think you can see the Holly Terminator X
Hmm.
mount there on the right. So super cool, man. I'm a big fan of all the stuff Corey does at Car Chains 3D.
Yeah, he's got suction cup mounts for windows. He's got
Yep.
column mounts for race cars without, factory dashes. He's got a little bit of everything. And if you've got an idea, I've
Yeah.
seen people that post on his social media posts. It's like, hey, can you do something for this? And he'll jump right on it. So if you got an idea for something that you want for your vehicle, reach out to Corey because I'm sure he'll love to help you out and create a new product.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Uh, and just a good dude, just a great dude. Well, let's talk about Street Machine Drag Challenge, dude.
Yeah. So this is their 10th event. So this event had 179 cars. So man, that's pretty awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and I
And
think this is their second one this year to do it because they were having to push back 23 because of the rain, or maybe that was last year. I think that was last year. Never mind. So the
yep.
first one this year.
So we'll go through the winners from this event. So the 235 aspirated class was Louis Yanis and a Holden Tirana with a 9.108 average. So congratulations to Lewis. 235 blown is Daniel Smith in a Toyota Celica with a 7.979 average. The 8.5 radio was Nathaniel Arden in a Ford XA Falcon with an 8.673 average. The 9.95 radio was Abe McLeod in a Ford XF Falcon with a 9.552 average. The DYO class was Joel Lucas, another Ford XF Falcon Ute with a .035 spread. So from a 10.838 to a 10.873. So, man, pretty close there.
Pretty tight, yeah.
Moving on, we've got the Outlaw Aspirated, which is Andrew Natoli and a Holden VK Commodore with a 10.297 average. And then we've got the Outlaw Blown, Adam Rogash and a Ford Capri with a 7.378 average. Radial Aspirated was Elon Vela and a Ford Capri with an 8.333 average. Radial Blown, Keith Hards with a Ford XW Fairmont with a 7.448 average. And then we've got six cylinder, which was William Yarwood and a Toyota Supra with an 8.628 average. So, man, definitely some different vehicles. It's kind of cool to see the different vehicles that are class winners in these events.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just so folks know, they did have one 8th mile day of racing, and then Street Machine Drag Challenge used a multiple of 1.555 to calculate their quarter mile time from that day. So that's how we ended up with quarter mile averages across the week. So pretty awesome. I worked yesterday, the day before I probably have 8 hours in this data manipulation from this group. So I know I've complained about it, but I've got it all done. I've got it added to the list for the points and stuff, and now I'll begin putting all of that together. And we should have, a real breakdown on Wednesday night to be able to go over some of that. I don't want to release a lot of it just simply because we have the PRI show coming up, and
Hmm.
I don't want to give any details on who's going to win what before we announce all that stuff. So as we go up to there, again, we'll be releasing some stuff because it's kind of fun, and the stories that'll come from all of this data will be available very soon, and we're writing them behind the scenes, and then we're going to talk about some stuff here in the Performer Built section next. Well, if you don't mind, I'll do the Molly read.
Okay.
Awesome. Attention high performance enthusiasts and racers, meet the Molly Motorsport Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. What sets Molly apart? Forged pistons, Grafal coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. And for everybody that's listening to this, Molly is spelled Mahle, and you can find everything. They've got tons of stuff on mollymotorsport.com.
Oh yeah.
Well, you'll do the gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. So we talk about this every week, but what the gentleman's agreement is this show and our Wednesday night show takes time. Mike said he was up at 4 this morning putting notes together for this. It takes a lot to put together a show. So we're going to continue doing what we do, covering events, photos, videos, live streams, because it's what we love to do. We just ask that you guys share this out. Let people know that we're live. Invite people to our Race Car Friends group page. Let's just get all this growing together. So the gentleman's agreement is saying that if you guys do that, we're going to continue doing it on our end. And then again, thank you to all you guys watching this morning, especially everybody that is out at Southeast Street Meet getting ready to race this morning. Appreciate you guys being our race car friends. Also, thanks to everybody that's been reaching out about photos from Hot Rod Drag Week. I love getting those messages. I love seeing you guys upload them as your profile pictures or using those photos. That's the goal of putting all this stuff together, is for you guys to use those. So appreciate everybody that's reached out wanting to buy photos or resharing them, anything like that. So thank you to all of our race car friends. And of course, we can't do it without our sponsorship. So Summit Racing Equipment, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmission, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk.
Yes. This is going to be fun, dude. Are you ready to talk about some Performer Built transmission stuff?
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't put any pictures in, so it's going to be us, man. It's going to be weird up on the screen. I'll read this, and we'll get into some of that. So, Performer Built Transmission is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions; they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say that their transmissions are not just built, they're Performa built. Well, y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, Ned Dunphy is a beast.
Yes.
Beast. 372 at 209 last night in Orlando. Bro, let's go.
Yeah.
That is insane, man.
Yeah, on a car that was driving down the highway with us at Hot Rod Drag Week.
Yeah, absolutely intense, dude. Just really crazy to see that. And I saw that this morning, in my time there. had to watch the video a couple times. I'm like, holy crap, this guy that car just works, man.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
absolutely works. 372 at 209. Great job. Can't wait to see him. I hope maybe sick week. I don't know. He said he was getting ready for some points chasing in 2025. So bring it on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't think he's completed a drag and drive event yet, has he?
No, no. So shh. We got to get that done for it, man.
Yeah.
'Cause, listen, at Drag Week, he had the opportunity. He was the car to beat, but then also
Yes.
he was the car that could have taken down, Lutz's record that stood since 2016. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and like we talked on the last show, I feel like that's what's going to bring Lutz back is like back with the vengeance. Is you know, one the schedule maybe for MPK being a little lighter next year. Who knows what that's going to do for real yet? And then if that's a little lighter and timing lines up, will we see him at sick week? And then if we see him at sick week and he does well, can we see him at drag week?
Yeah.
So if he well, speculation out the window. We'll talk about that later on another show. uh, we can run through some recap stuff. We're going to do not a full recap of 2024 stuff, like I was saying a minute ago in episode 88, but we are going to talk about some of the things here. And then, of course, we'll dive a little deeper with names and all that kind of stuff on episode 88. But there are 10 cars that have finished a quarter mile national event in the sixes. 10 cars. Y'all, we've never had that kind of number before. The most that had ever been was 7 cars in 2023, and now we have 10. So 150% more cars finished in
Yeah.
the sixes in 2024. Now, most of those guys that did it were Bryant Goldstone, but
Yeah.
um,
How awesome.
oh man, so more than 2,700 racers total. I don't know what the final number is, obviously, because we don't know how many are at Southeast Street and Yeet. But right now, my list shows 2,650 or something like that, 2,651 before I add in Southeast Street and Yeet. So if they at least have 50 cars, which they do, then it's more than 2,700 racers, which is up from the 2,479 in 2023.
Man,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome to see.
and that's just national events. Obviously, national events went from like 11 to 13 events or something like that. Regional events are where we're really going to get a big boom in, I would say, growth from
Yeah.
there. And then there were 2,087 unique racers in 2023. I'm interested to see how many unique racers we end up in 2024 because the number I'm seeing so far is obviously more than what it was in 23, but did more people do more events is kind of my thought. Did we have more that did 3 and 4 events, or did we just have that many more people come into the community?
I don't know. I do feel like there's been some names that we have seen that have done more events this year, so it's probably a good mix of both of those, if I had to guess.
Yep. Yeah, I'm interested to see. And then the one thing that I will do is I'm going to write an article on one and dones. Like how many people have only done one event ever?
Yeah.
And never come back. So that's kind of my that's one of my goals for during the off season that we have is guys that they came in, they said, this isn't for me.
Yeah. I don't feel like there I don't feel like there's too many of those, but I bet you the numbers will surprise us when we see it.
Yeah, yeah, I bet there's a high percentage actually. I bet there's 30 or 40% of people that yeah, and the good thing is we can look back at drag week and have 20 years of history there and see what that does, see how that works out each year. And then Rocky Mountain with 10 years worth of stuff, we can look at theirs, we keep a master list of all those. And then I'm building out a master list for sick week and then sick summer and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Got Rodney Hardner here saying, morning all, likes and subscribe, race car friends. We
yep.
got Rich in here, 4 events, and lots of new people became friends.
Yeah.
Looks like event number 21 for him.
Dude, that's awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. 21 events. That's what's really wild to me. When we started really kind of following this stuff early 21 really is kind of when I really dove off into this hardcore. But there weren't things like that. Like there, you had Tom McGilton had the most I think was 16 at that point, but dude, that's been 30 events ago.
Right.
So
Yeah.
or more, it's pretty wild to think that there's so many events that are out there.
Yeah. Well, some other crazy interesting facts here. So for the season, the top 11 ET averages, okay? Top 11, Bryant Goldstone and Alex Taylor hold 7 of those 11 spots.
That's crazy to me.
That is wild. So
Yeah.
Bryant has 4 spots in the javelin. So he's got number 2 at Sick Week with a 6.519 average. Number 3 at Six Summer with a 6.605 average. Number 4 at Hot Rod Drag Week with a 6.671 average. And number 8 at Rocky Mountain Race Week with a 6.963 average. So
So
Bryant has 2, 3, 4, and 8.
yeah. So he has 4 of the top 10.
Yes. Yeah,
He
4 of the
is
top 8.
yeah, 4 of the top 8. He's half of the top 8. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yep. And then Alex, all 3 in the 55, has number 6 at Hot Rod Drag Week with a 6.845 average. Number 9 at Sick Week with 6.971 average. And number 11 at Six Summer with a 7.025 average.
Yeah.
So that
I
is
mean, it's
wild.
yeah. And as we go forward, now it becomes what's the best average across 3 events? You know, will that come into play? I mean, it does for the world champion point stuff, but
Hmm.
um this is pretty crazy, man, to think that like Bryant Goldstone literally has 4 of the top 8 in the same car
Hmm.
in the same year. I mean,
Hmm.
those, obviously 4 different events, but I mean, Sick Week is in, February, Six Summers in June, Rocky Mountain Race Week was in June, literally, the week after, like there was a week period in between there, and then Hot Rod Drag Week in
Yeah.
September. Like he's raced that car all year long. We need to have him back on and talk about some of the stuff they've done since they got back from Drag Week and see, you know, how the car I'd say hurt, but were there some maintenance issues on the car that they had? Same
Oh,
for probably Alex.
yeah. We know there was because they did a lot of stuff to keep that car going
Yep.
at most of those events, to be honest.
Well, and a lot of it, like I'm not talking about just engine maintenance. I mean, like, were there welds that broke? Were there,
Mm,
you know, do you have to change? I don't know what they use for bushings, if there are any on their, um, like link bars and stuff. Do you
yeah.
change hom joints and all that kind of stuff? Like, what are the off season things like that? Because those cars obviously get a ton of attention because they're so fast and
Hmm.
they're on the street and stuff. But like that stuff, everybody needs to think about.
Right. And
You know what I mean?
that's 4 weeks spent in the javelin. That's more
Yeah.
time than some of these racers spend in their car, probably in a lifetime at the drag
Ever.
strip.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yep.
4 weeks of driving that car
Yeah.
in a how long of a span? We're talking January to September.
Yeah.
Like, man. And then
Well,
Rich just mentioned, then for fun, he did 666 in the
mhm.
Corvette. So, man, that's 5 weeks of racing that Brian has done this year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty wild to think that. And what I think is awesome about that is like, he is a small business owner.
Hmm.
He this is him doing that takes literal money out of his pocket by him not being there to do whatever Bryant does every day. I'm sure now he's got a whole team of people that repair cars and maintenance cars and things like that at his shop, but like there's stuff that he does that he is literally paying somebody to do that for the 5 weeks that he's gone. So it's really
Right.
cool. I'm really glad he's not into mountain biking. Like we're glad that he's into drag and drive,
Yeah.
or gardening would suck. Yeah, he'd have a huge garden if he just spent 5 weeks on gardening. I mean, like these are the kind of things we gotta be thinking about. It's pretty cool, man.
Yep. Definitely life goals right there. And
Yeah.
he's out there having fun. And I know some of these events in the midst of the event might not feel fun, but man, just awesome to see.
Yeah. And obviously, we've said it a couple times. He's probably just absolutely crushed it and is going to be your 2-time defending Dragon Drive World Champion. But finally, again, I should have that wrapped up this week and be able to. I'm not going to make that announcement here. We will wait and make that announcement at PRI. But I will tell whoever wins their classes or their awards that that they need to be there if they can.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Last
Got a
bit
couple
here.
more. Yep, couple more things to finish up here.
Sponsor booths at PRI. I thought this would be kind of fun to go through and kind of give you the rundown of where sponsors will be. We'll create some artwork around this for the week coming up or the weeks coming up. But listen, go by these booths if you're going to be at PRI. Say hi, grab stickers, ask questions, tell them you appreciate them being part of the Dragon Drive community. You don't even have to tell them that you hear them on here. We just want please go by and say thank you. So Summit Racing booth 4401. Molly Motorsports. It is the full Molly booth, so it's not just the motorsports, but Eric Grillio and Alec and George, I think, will all be there. So Molly booth is 1601 in the green hall. Driven Racing Oil is booth number 1325 in the green hall. Howard's Cams is booth 3221 in the yellow hall. With us, PowerTube TV has a huge spread. This is like a 50-foot long booth. It's going to be insane to see this thing set up. Booth 7086. So it's like actually out in the one of the big main hallways that you'll be walking by. It's super cool there. Can't wait to hang out with those guys. And then Racing Junk Classifieds, booth number 2143 at PRI. So again, we'll be making some artwork around this and sharing that as we lead up to the next few weeks here.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Racing Junk.
Yep. I struggling here this morning. I actually just closed out my window, so I got it back open here, so we're good to go.
Nice. Well,
so
34. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, 34 cars on the Racing Junk Dragon Drive category. So again, Racing Junk created a specific category for Dragon Drive race cars, which is super cool. We're thankful that they did that. 34 cars on there. I'm seeing new cars on there. So what that means is we've got to be selling some of those Dragon Drive cars because the number is kind of sticking around that mid 30s range, but there are new cars coming on. So hopefully that means those vehicles are selling. Again, we don't run a buy sell trade page on Facebook. We don't allow those posts. So if you've tried to post something for sale, you'll probably notice that it gets declined. That's because we do have Racing Junk as our partner and we keep all of our for sale items over on Racing Junk. So this week, our vehicle is a car that might be familiar. It's a 94 Firebird LT1 T56 for 12 grand. Now, this car you might recognize. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So from Billings, Montana, which means this was a Big Sky Race Week car. So built as a Dragon Drive car. Perfect. I mean, can you get a better opening sentence to your description than that?
Nope. Nope.
Quick performance, 9-inch new fab rear end, 370 gears, track lock posi unit, Viking double adjustable coils on all four corners, trick chassis, torque arm, axle mount, Midwest chassis ARB, UMI subframe connectors, and torque arm. You can see all the stuff here. Holley 2-step with the bank shift Billy clutch modular installed. Awesome. Tick performance clutch master upgrade. You can go through here and see all of this stuff here. Very last sentence here. Completed Big Sky Race Week with no issues and a 3,500 mile road this summer.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a car that has completed a week-long event, it's a stick shift car, T56. It's got a bank shift Billy in it. This is your deal right here. 12 grand. Like,
dude, that 9-inch in the back's probably at 25% of that cost.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it's I think this is a great vehicle for somebody to jump in, especially that's wanting to get into drag and drive. Um, this car has potential to do much more, obviously. So you can get in a car that's ready to compete, that has competed, that's proven that it can complete an event, and you can
Hmm.
continue to upgrade it and get into, as fast as you want to go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and a great platform too. That's really cool, especially to have the Big Sky Race Week banner across the front window,
Hmm.
and show it there pulling the car and probably in front of one of the checkpoints.
Yep. So very cool. If anybody's interested, if anybody has bought a vehicle from Racing Junk, one of these that we've showed, we'd like to know that too. Just
Hmm.
you know, shoot us a message and let us know. Or, if somebody's interested in going and buying this one, I think that'd be cool for us to hear that story.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's awesome. We appreciate Racing Junk for putting that together. I mean, I know that's not an easy segment to add and all that kind of stuff, but it is really cool that they've done that for us.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know, lead us out, sir.
Yes, I can do that. Once again, thanks everybody that's been here this morning. This Saturday morning race car news. This is kind of our goal with what this we wanted this to be. So it's kind of like the old school get up Saturday morning, get your bowl of cereal, and watch car stuff on TV. So that's kind of the vibe that we're going with here, updating you guys in the Drag and Drive community with all the news, and then we do our 2 hour long show on Wednesday night. So again, thanks to everybody that's been here this morning commenting. Sorry that the Facebook user names aren't popping up this morning. We'll look into that, see if we can figure that out. But thank you to all of our race car friends. And once again, guys, we can't do this without our sponsors. If you guys are going to buy parts, please check out our sponsors first before you buy anywhere else. So thank you, Summit Racing Equipment, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmissions, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk, guys. We will see you on our next episode.
Yep. All right, guys. See you. Sweet. Dude, good